Hey, it's James here, and I want to just take a couple of minutes to give you a high-level overview of the 9 Minutes on Monday leadership program, and that will help you understand more about the program and see if this is something that might be useful in your organization. But 9 Minutes on Monday is a proven program to transform your busy managers into inspirational leaders who produce results. And one of the reasons it works is because it solves the number one problem that hinders your managers from leading high-performing teams. And that is that managers get caught in the weeds, in task work, and that takes them away from the essentials of motivating their people. Well, 9 Minutes on Monday gets your managers out of the weeds and implementing the most powerful principles of human motivation, and that's the engagement drivers. Now, the engagement drivers are the key to motivated, productive, and high-performing teams. Now, I'm not going through all the engagement drivers here, but even as you look at these, you will recognize these, right, as essentials when it comes to engagement. Now, how do we do this, right? How do we help implement these engagement drivers? Well, we do this through a combination of really three basic principles. And the first one is this. It's honestly getting buy-in from your managers. One thing we've learned after working with almost 10,000 managers is that if your managers don't buy into engagement, like if they don't really make the connection that how they lead absolutely affects the engagement levels of the team, if you don't get them to buy into that, then you're always going to be fighting it's like you're paddling upstream with your managers when it comes to leadership development. So this is the first thing we do is we get them to buy into their role in engagement. Secondly, we equip them with the tools to implement the engagement drivers, right? So we teach them the engagement drivers and then we give them tools to implement them. And then lastly, we hardwire behavior change through accountability and ritual. Because don't you hate it when people do a leadership program and it was great while it lasted, but then nobody does it anymore, right? We don't want that. We want change. And here's the thing, the program works because it changes manager behavior. And like I said, we've seen thousands of managers go through this now, and so many people have loved the program. Even as one young manager said, "This changed me as a leader." So I want to talk a little bit about the different ways we implement 9 Minutes on Monday. Now, there's a self-study option. Anyone can go ahead and take the course on their own. Many people do, and they love that. But where you really get traction is our hybrid program. And basically, our hybrid program is where we are taking your managers through the program and we're coaching them through the entire process, right? And whether that's a customized program, like we're coming in and we're just working with your managers, or our live public program. So 3 times a year, we launch the 9 Minutes on Monday leadership program. People can sign up. Maybe you only have 2 or 3 managers that you would like to put through. You would put them in the live public program. So let's give you an overview of just what this looks like. So it's a 12-week program, right? And it has 3, in a sense, big components. The first one is this. It's a kickoff keynote. I'll get to that in a moment. Then we move into the core program, right? So that's 10, 11 weeks right there. And then we have a graduation. So let me just quickly walk through each one of these so you know what's happening. In the kickoff keynote, now, of course, we're talking about the hybrid program, right? If people just take the course on their own, it's different. But when we are coming in and doing it for you, or if your managers are signing up for the public program, then this is what it's going to look like. So it starts with a kickoff keynote, and this is a virtual keynote that I do, or sometimes I come in and do it live in your organization if you would like that. And listen, I've given over 2,500 speeches. I was named one of the top leadership speakers by Inc. magazine. I know how to get a group excited about a program. I know how to get them to begin to shift their beliefs about how they think about leadership. And so this is super inspirational. It's a lot of fun, and it gets people really revved up about the program. And then we kick off the program, and that's super exciting because we are going to jump into the engagement drivers. So think of it through, this is like weeks 2 through 10, right? We're going to teach each week, we're going to teach one of the engagement drivers, and they're going to implement it. And so each week, here's the cadence. Each week, your managers go through one short training module, 15 to 20 minutes at most, right? This program is built for busy people. So 15 to 20 minutes at most. It's a training module on that engagement driver. And then there's a power exercise where they have to go implement it that week. And this is such a key to learning. And you know this already, right? It's not just knowledge that changes us. It's knowledge and then the experience of us trying it out. And so this is what happens right away. In addition to this weekly cadence, right? The training module and then the power exercise, every other week in the program, we have implementation coaching calls. So this is an accountability point as well as further help given their unique situations. So this is where I'm in there chatting with your managers, coaching them, sometimes fielding their questions if they have them, but continuing to keep them on track and further their development here. All right, so we do that every week through the entire program. And then when we get to the end, we have the graduation. Now, the graduation is more than a formality. In fact, it's a powerful event to lock in commitments of your managers and provide them with the next steps. And of course, we celebrate here. They're going to receive certificates of completion, which they always love to get. I've got some bonuses that I give them as well in there. But really, the powerful part of this is the process we use to help them lock in commitments of what kind of leader they're going to be. So that happens at the graduation. So in a sense, that's the program. But there's one more thing that we recently added that's really been a game changer, and that's the dedicated Slack channel. So when your managers are in the program, they have direct access to me and the other coaches during the program. And this is a place where they can share wins, they can ask questions, they can, they're not having to email. Also, I get in there, I give them nudges, I give them some extra inspiration. And so this gives them a real sense that they are being coached and in a sense, handheld through this entire process. And the results of all this, happy managers, both equipped and inspired to lead high-performing teams. And not just that, employees that are more engaged, more productive, and happier with their jobs. In fact, we've just seen so many managers really make some amazing changes. Carlton Sylvie, he's a regional manager. He said this has to be the best overall leadership development concept ever created. Carlton went through the program about 2 years ago. Well, you might be wondering, but what about some real numbers, some tangible numbers here? And I get that. I get why you would ask that. I want to let you know about a hospital that was hurting. They had really low engagement. They were in the 21st percentile, right? And so we came in and we got all their managers going through the program 9 minutes on Monday. And this is a big ship to turn, right? 2,000 employees. Well, 8 months later, they had doubled their scores. They were in the 45th percentile, right? Still a long ways to go, but that's a huge change over a short period of time. They went from 14 high-performing teams, and how they defined it, to 25 high-performing teams. Here's a manufacturing company, and they were hitting 68% of their sales goals. We came in, we got their managers on 9 minutes on Monday. We got them, we taught them the engagement drivers. We began to hardwire in the rituals that we teach them. And 3 months later, they were hitting 98% of their sales goals. Why? Because the managers were intentional about their leadership. Then we got Abiomed. Abiomed is an amazing healthcare technology company. They make the world's smallest heart pump. And they do an amazing job recovering hearts and saving lives. And Abiomed in 2019, they were the 19th fastest growing company on the Fortune 500 list. And as much as they were already a high-performing company, on their engagement scores, they still had a few scores that just couldn't move them, and they were just lagging. So we got all of their managers through 9 minutes on Monday. It took a while because it's a big company, and there's a video here. I'm not going to show it, but this is me talking to the chief of operations, Colonel Todd Magnus. And he said, we've seen those numbers that were lagging. He said, we've seen them skyrocket. It absolutely moved the needle. In fact, Abiomed just got bought out by Johnson & Johnson for $17 billion. An amazing, amazing company. So why is this program so effective? Why is it that thousands of managers love this, rate this as a 5-star program? Well, there's a couple reasons as we see, as we look back on it. And in some ways, it's best for other people to kind of share why. And Melody, Melody Moore from UA Brands, she said 9 Minutes on Monday was the first leadership course we found that provided a simple-to-use formula for increasing engagement and productivity. And here's the thing. It works because it's simple, it's practical, and it's easy to execute right there. Neil Wilson, HR Director for Springs Living, he said the format's perfect for busy managers who don't have a lot of time to spare. James clearly understands the challenges faced by frontline managers and supervisors and provides solutions that are both practical and meaningful, so much so that we've incorporated 9 Minutes into our standard leadership curriculum, right? So it works because it's simple and practical and easy to execute. It also works at all levels. This isn't just for supervisors or frontline managers. Here's Mary Cottadella. She's VP of HR of a large hospital. She said, I implemented 9 Minutes on Monday, and as a result, the HR department's engagement scores went from good to very good. My relationships with my employees flourished, productivity increased more than I would have ever expected. The tool's user-friendly, takes less than 10 minutes. And Tim, who's been in leadership for 20 plus years, he says some of the best leadership development I have received in 20 plus years in leadership roles. And then lastly, not only is it work for all levels, but it has staying power. Here's Robin O'Hearn, talent manager at Delta. She said 2 years later, and this is still one of the most powerful tools I use. And you know, like I said earlier, don't you hate it when you provide a leadership program for your people and then they don't use it after? And we've seen people 5, 6 years later, and they're still using the tools that we give them. So again, just to review, 9 Minutes on Monday, you know, of course, there's a self-study option that people can do, and you can find that on our website, and you can purchase that at any time. But where the real traction happens is in our hybrid program, right? And that's either us coming in and doing this with your managers, or if maybe you're not sure yet, or you want to try this out and you want to send a couple of managers first, or maybe you yourself want to come to the live public program, then you should find details on this page here, or of course just get in touch with us and we'll tell you when the next live launch is, okay? So thanks for your time. Just next steps. And that would be to jump on a quick call to answer any questions and discuss how this would work in your organization. Because you may have questions about, you know, hey, we have a lot of remote workers. Would this work for us? And hey, we're in construction, you know, would this work for us? And we've worked with so many different organizations. Like I said, thousands and thousands of managers have gone through 9 Minutes on Monday from almost every industry imaginable. But we'd love to definitely talk with you more about how this might work for you. Okay, so anyways, you should see below this video somewhere a link to get a hold of us and to book a call with me, and I'll jump on the call with you and we can talk through and see if this might be a good solution for you in training your managers. Hey, James here, and again, thanks for being with me here today and checking this out.